Yo, what's up, guys? We're live. We're going to be doing a breakdown for UFC 309. Right before UFC 309, we're going to talk about the boxing fight that just happened, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight, a couple other fights. But first, I got to say thanks to my guests for coming on. I know it's late where you guys are at, so appreciate it. And, what's up, Fitz? How you doing, bro?
Good, bro. Got the 309 shirt going tomorrow. Couldn't be more excited. Really looking forward to it. Just got, fight of the year with Tyson versus Paul. So don't know how it could ever top that. Jones versus Miocic, but they'll try.
Yeah, man. And what about you, Billy? You getting excited for this fight card?
Yeah, man, I'm excited for the fights, man. Anytime we can get geared up and put some money on some fights, how can you not get excited for it? Is it the best pay-per-view of all time? No, but it doesn't need to be. As long as there's two people standing inside the cage, we're gonna make money on it.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, fucking you're living years, right? Well, on the card, but yeah, let's talk about the boxing event real quick. I don't know. I think Fitz, you were talking about it. So you watched that the Barrios fight where he retained his belt. That was a pretty sick fight. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, what did you think about that with Mario Barrios? Just real quick, and then we'll get into the two big fights.
Yeah, I thought it was a dogfight. I mean, closer fight, I think, a little bit than the scorecard showed, but Champ retained. I think that's the right decision at the end of the day. And yeah, actually leading up to the main event, it was a really good card. I didn't tune into the whole thing, but I mean, the Serrano versus Taylor rematch was amazing, amazing fight. It just not even just for women's boxing, just boxing in general. I mean, they were really going, blow for blow. I know a lot of people are upset about the decision. Katie Taylor, Irish, whatever. I'll root for her anyway, even if maybe it was a little bit of robbery. But yeah, obviously the main event was what it was. Felt like I was watching The Simpsons, bro. I don't know what it was like watching Mike Tyson out there, mad old. Like it didn't even feel real. But I actually thought they did good. Besides, the biggest L for me or biggest shitty of the night is Netflix, dude. The stream was garbage all night,
Garbage,
lagging,
bro.
uh, buffering. I mean, across everyone had the same issues. But I watched it on Streamist, dude. Had more success there.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. I was watching that shit on crack streams, and I guess like people were like complaining, but it really wasn't that bad. Like on there, at least. Like I guess there was a couple of times where it was buffering and shit, but yeah, the streams were like better than Netflix for fucking whatever reason. But yeah, I guess they had 120 mil. I get that's probably a bullshit number. I just heard Jake say it, but 120 million people watching at the same time. That is like a good, I guess.
No, I would guess it's around
No,
that
bro, that's
number.
pretty accurate, bro.
That
From
doesn't
the
seem like
different
a
age ranges of
Netflix.
generations.
So many
Bro,
people.
everyone was talking about this fight. Everyone,
Yeah.
people who never talked to me about fights before. I mean, everyone, girls, guys, fucking grandparents, grandmas. This definitely got a lot of eyeballs on it. They made a lot of money tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Or essentially a sparring match.
yeah, it was what it was. I mean, I feel like I
Jake,
don't.
I really don't think was trying to knock him out,
Yeah,
dude.
that's
Jake
about
was
He was so not. He showed him so much respect, bro. It's
exactly.
absolutely like real people that don't understand boxing don't know. Like he was hitting him to the body, that body head combination. He could have knocked him out, but I felt like he showed him a lot of respect of like just letting it go to the decision. Free
Yeah,
money, bro. Free money. MMA clubs.
that's what it seemed like, dude. It seemed like, especially at the end, like maybe like I get it, like the first couple rounds, not even because I don't even think Mike Tyson was a big threat at all.
it
Like,
was well, I think the first round he's a little scary, He clipped
that's
him with one punch.
like you could say, like, all right, like he's a little bit nervous. Like maybe the first three rounds, like he looks like shit, but it really was because of something. But then the end of the fight, when you could definitely tell like Mike was basically done. Like I definitely think he kind of just took his foot off the gas, like 100%. Maybe let me survive, but the thing is though, I mean Jake isn't that big. Like I wonder if I don't think he's gonna stay up at like that weight. You know,
No, definitely not.
it's like he probably doesn't have a ton of power. Like because if Mike was fighting someone like with real power, do that because he actually got hit like a decent amount. Still, like he could have got hurt really bad, but.
I also thought he had his hands down low way too much.
Yeah, after round two, it seemed Tyson was just trying to survive. Yeah, I mean, he would have like he would come out like the first 5 seconds of the round and throw like 2 big punches, and that would be it for the next fucking 1 minute and 30 seconds. But yeah, it was weird to me how they made that a pro fight because it wasn't even fucking pro rules, dude. It was 2 minute rounds and it was 6 rounds. So I guess 6 rounds is a pro fight, but I thought all pro fights were 3 minute rounds. So
Whoever Jake's manager is better than Logan's, because how is he making money off of Netflix boxing of 60-year-old men and getting paid twice the amount that his brother did, or probably triple, quadruple of what his brother did to fight Floyd Mayweather, which is a way harder fight.
yeah, I mean, but I guess it's like,
Bro, that was the easiest out of all of Jake's Paul fights. That might have been the easiest one, bro. He literally fought somebody that was dead after 2 minutes.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean,
He wasn't trying.
Yeah. I mean, all his fights, though, dude, it's like every fight, the Mike Perry fight was a super easy fight, too. Like, a lot of those fights that he picks are kind of easy fights.
Ben
but,
Askren. You're
Yeah,
going
but
to say
he
Mike
actually-
Tyson's an easier fight than Ben Askren? Come on.
Yeah. Ben Askren,
Or Nate Robinson, who's like 120 pounds.
Yeah, these are all people that can move, bro. Mike was like actually like not
Mike
moving.
can
Like
kill you
Jake
with
was
punch.
Jake was selling the fight, bro. Like he was like, "Come on, Mike, we got to do it." Mike was like, "I already got paid, and my leg hurts."
It is crazy, though, you're talking about Floyd. Like, I guess he's not, what, 48 or something, but he's actually still.
That's a hard fight, though.
What I'm saying, he's still fast and like. Well, I mean, if Jake fought Floyd, dude, he'd fucking kill Floyd. Like that's like stupid, you know. But at least Mike
You
is.
think?
Yeah, dude, he's way too big, bro. Like, and he's actually decent, and Floyd's fucking probably close to 50.
Yeah, because I think Jake's better than. I don't know. It's like Jake has more power than Logan, but I actually think Logan's a better like all-around boxer. Like he can actually go the distance way better. Like Jake looks like he's struggling a little bit when he goes the distance.
I think Jake is way better than Logan.
Me too.
But Logan hasn't stayed active
I
enough,
think
though,
Jake.
bro.
You saying Jake would beat the shit out of Floyd is crazy, dude.
Why did
That is crazy.
Floyd Mayweather, Jake wouldn't touch him, bro. He wouldn't land a single punch.
It would be
Floyd
them
would dance
looking
on
at
him,
each
bro.
other.
He
It
would
would be
dance.
them looking at each other for about
It
the
would be
whole entire
Floyd
fight.
dancing around him and Jake Paul death gas.
Nah, I don't think so, dude. I mean, I could be wrong, but that fight's never gonna happen. But dude,
That would be the one fight that I actually think Jake Paul would actually lose to like a legend. Like Floyd would actually probably just outpoint him.
Dude, I would be like so confident in that, dude. Floyd's like 5'5". How is he gonna win that fight?
So you think Floyd's only career loss will be to Jake Paul?
Well, no, because he would
Come
never.
on. That's exactly the come on.
Why wouldn't he? Why did he say he'd fight Logan but not Jake? He said that himself.
Because Logan would take a loss, Jake will not.
Well, because he knows Logan sucks, dude. It has no power, it has no threat at all. Like at least Jake, if Jake connected on fucking Floyd, he'd knock his head out of the fucking.
Yeah, but at the time that they fought, Logan was 10 times better than Jake, bro.
What?
I don't know. I don't think
Logan
so.
even KO, like he lost to that KSI guy multiple times. That's holy.
Jake didn't get good until like 3-4 years ago.
Logan's only win is against Dylan Dennis in boxing, bro. And he couldn't even hurt him at all. Like he was just like pitter pattering him for 8 rounds straight. Like I don't know. I think Logan is horrifically bad. Like he's too muscle bound, dude. Like I don't know.
It's hard to really gauge though because it's not like he didn't do as much training as Jake. Like
If
Jake just
Logan
trains year round.
They fought, like, don't you think Jake would be like minus 1,000? Like,
If Logan and Jake fought,
yeah, like
Minus
just the
600.
line.
I would probably say Jake would be like minus 350, but I would probably bet Logan.
I mean, I mean, maybe just
He's a better cardio. Like he could go the distance and jab way better than Jake can. Jake just has way more power, and it's not even close.
How many rounds has Logan gone though in a fight? Like 4 rounds. I don't think he's had a long fight, dude. Like
The Floyd fight went the distance.
but how many rounds was it? Like 5 rounds?
No, that wasn't a
Had to be
5-round
like
fight.
8.
Fight.
I'll look it up right now. Logan Paul Floyd versus Floyd. How long was the fight? How many rounds I should put in? 8 rounds. So basically what that was.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know that fight, like, to tell you like anything about it whatsoever. Like,
Logan looked good in the first 2 rounds.
but he got tired.
Nah, more Floyd looked like Floyd Mayweather, and like he does in any other fight.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, dude. If you watch Floyd's fights though. Like more recently, when he's fighting these Japanese dudes that are small, he's getting fucking lit up too. Like he's getting
He is definitely getting lit up in his later years.
hit and fucking clipped hard as shit. Like, dude, there's no way he could take those punches from Jake Paul, bro. Like, there's no way in hell. Like that's why he would never do it. He's fighting these midgets in fucking Japan that are like 120 pounds. I mean, it's smart because he's 48 years old. Like, and I don't want to see him fucking get slept, but I'm just saying I think that would be interesting, I guess. But I don't know, like just in general though, like what do you think that did anything for Jake? Like to me, that was like
It shouldn't. I mean, bro, Mike Tyson.
I think
couldn't
that
even move.
solidified him in the streets. Like, street cred isn't everything in this game, but it does mean for a little something. You got some street cred for that.
I had
Because people actually thought Tyson was gonna win, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that because I had like quite a few people that don't really like, they're not big fans of like fighting or whatever, but they're like, dude, that fight was trash. I'm never watching another Jake Paul fight. So it's like, I guess it's because he was like holding back too. Like, but then he was in like a no-win situation there, dude. If he would have knocked him out, like that would have been, people would have shit on him for that too. So, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. We can move on to UFC 309. So, first fight on the card, we got a close money line on that one. Veronica Hardy versus Eduardo Mora. So, what do you think about that fight, Fitz?
I mean, it's a little hard for me. We've seen Hardy struggle in the past with some grapplers. I do think she's made improvements though from then. Mora's moving up from weight class. She's mainly primarily a grappler. She was huge at 115, so I think 125 is the more reasonable weight class because she struggled to make the weight at 115. I was leaning more as the underdog early in the week, but I'm just not too big of a, I think she was a little one who kind of just used her size to bully these girls around. I don't know necessarily she has the highest level takedown ability. I think Veronica Hardy should be able to keep her off of her used movement and should be a lot better on the feet. She's going to piece her up on the feet. I think I look a lot more smooth, a lot more slick, use a lot of lateral movement, kicks. But yeah, if Moore gets on top, it could be bad for Hardy, but give me Veronica Hardy decision, but not too much confidence on this one. I'm not really a bet I'm looking to target, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, what about you, Billy?
Yeah, when I first looked at this fight, I thought I was gonna be on the Eduardo Morris side, but I actually did the due diligence of the film study, and I actually think the film study is kind of like the part that kind of weighs in the most. Fitz is kind of right. It's very hard to ignore Hardy's striking advantage in this fight. As long as she can stay away from these takedowns, I feel like she should be fine. For Guatemala, or is it like half of her wins are via submission? 9 out of 10 of her wins are inside the distance. So a lot of her win condition is like early in these rounds, and that's when Hardy looks the best, is early in these rounds. Hardy's gonna have to put together a good third round, which we haven't really seen too much in the UFC. It's usually her getting up in the rounds and dropping him, but I think it's going to be the reverse. More probably coming out hot. Hardy ends up getting some good reads, and then she probably comes out through late. Bets that I'm looking at for this fight, because I feel like the market has definitely caught up with Hardy since that marriage. I mean, she was like plus 330, plus 160, minus 140 in her last fight. So this is the biggest price tag since her return. And now we're starting to see the market buy down a little bit here on Eduardo Mora. I feel like the company wants Eduardo Mora to win, but It's one of those situations where they probably really don't give a fuck. And probably so do the fans. The bets that I'm looking at on this fight is on FanDuel. They have fight specials: Veronica Hardy by decision or Aguada Mora by submission at -160. And then if you like the Hardy side, I like Hardy to win and fight to start round 2, -130. And if you like the Aguada Mora side, I feel like you have to sprinkle the submission prop at +550.
Yeah, that's kind of, I agree. I mean, one thing with Mora, she did miss weight for both of those fights at 115, so maybe she'll look better at 125, like speed wise on the feet or something. But we can't really say much without seeing it, So I just feel like Hardy is the better striker, like you guys said. I think if you like Mora, man, I mean, you should bet the unders too, because it's like you can get +250 for under 2.5. I don't really see her winning a decision, and
You don't think she can kind of just lay on her, stall her out?
I don't think so, because I even I went back and watched a few of Hardy's fights. Like I watched her fight with Jillian Robertson, and she was like scrambling really well in that fight. Like she reversed and got on top like multiple times. And we saw like Denise Gomes, she kind of like gassed out Mora by scrambling with her. So Jillian ended up catching her, but I feel like Mora would gas like. So I don't know. I mean, if Mora, like I said, if she has like better cardio at 25, maybe she could like win a decision. But it's hard to like for me to say that right now. Like she looked terrible versus Gomes in round 3. Like I know Hardy doesn't have great cardio, but like she was definitely like dead in that fight. So
My problem is though, Guru, is for Igor Mora to look good or to win this fight, it's gonna have to be a lot of it early, and Hardy does a lot of her work early. So, how the fuck is she gonna really win this fight? You know what I'm saying? Like logistically speaking, like I feel like the only way she wins this fight's inside the distance.
who Mora, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I guess that's I'm kind of on the same page as you. I think Fitz was saying that he thinks it could be a decision.
I think logistically speaking, like just the market alone, Agora Mora was a favorite against Denise Gomez, like -130, -140, and Denise Gomez was a -500 favorite last week, and look, all of -500. So it's like you think at plus money she would be the side, but it's really not.
I mean, at that point though, you gotta like she was 10-0. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying, of just like I feel like this fight should be a pick'em, like based off of how they lined them of recent,
look
based
at it.
off the market.
I'm looking right now on Bet Online, and it pretty much is now. I mean, Hardy's -125, so and then they got more at +105 on Bet Online. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, +105. I feel like Hardy would be the value side even at -125, but I guess it's hard to say there at that point. But yeah, man,
I mean, bro, who has Mora ever beat in her entire career?
Nobody. I mean, she has
Yeah,
no. And
absolutely.
Hardy has
Hardy's beat. Yeah.
So
That's
like
what I'll say.
that the Horth chick isn't bad, even though I thought she kind of lost to it was like remember that fight she just had, Jamie Lynn Horth, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then she beat JJ's a good for sure. So but yeah, we'll see. If she wins, that'll be 4 wins in a row. It'd be like I think at that point, like
Give her a title shot.
well, if she wins this fight, she'll for sure like be a fader next fight. You think like unless they just get like some random ass matchup, but yeah, this next fight, Oban Elliott versus Basso Hafez. I mean, I think the line's kind of bloated at this point. I mean, it was a lot closer. I think Elliott was like minus. When I first saw it open, I thought I saw him at like -130 or something. So maybe I misremember that, but because now I'm looking at the line, he's -300. Oban Elliott, and Basso Hafez is at +250 on Bet Online. So I don't agree with that line, but. I don't know. I mean, Hafez, I do think was kind of uninspiring his last fight, and there is those rumors about him being on steroids, having to come off the steroids, and maybe it'll impact him again here. But like, if he shows up and does well, I don't see how he is in the value side at +250 because he does hit decently hard, even though he's one knockout or whatever. You could tell he has some power and he could grapple. But Elliott did good versus Parsons, who's a wrestler, and I kind of think he's going to win the decision. He's definitely better on the feet, like technically wise. But yeah, what do you think about that line, Billy? The plus 250 for Hafez there on Bet Online.
To be honest with you, my thoughts and opinions about this fight is don't let the line fool you. I feel like the value is obviously on Hafez, but it's one of those ones where like when the bookies open up a line at minus 158 and the sharp people that are betting UFC like 2 weeks out in advance are slapping the Elliott line and then they're moving the line to minus 265 to make people have to put it on parlays, kind of tells me everything that I need to know. Like, logistically speaking, I think Basal Hafez is live early in this fight, but um, the later this fight goes, I feel like Oban Elliott's the way better fucking technical striker, and he actually has enough takedown defense upside to defend the takedowns. The fight, the parts that I'm looking at for this fight here is it's weird because I think Oban Elliott wins the fight. I'm confident in him winning the fight, but I also don't want to parlay him like that. Like I don't want to have like 20 fucking parlays with fucking Oban Elliott in it. But I like Oban Elliott to win a fight to start round 2 at minus 180. That's kind of like where the fight was hovering around on the opener. I would say like Tuesday through Wednesday, like minus 180, minus 200. I feel like for Elliott to win this fight, he's going to have to really be on his P's and Q's the first 5 minutes. So I like him to win, fight to start round 2, Elliott to win, or Elliott round 3 or by decision minus 140. And if you like the Basel Hafez side, I mean, Basel Hafez by decision at plus 490 is pretty wild.
Yeah, see that line's crazy too, but I definitely think Hafez is getting a little disrespected. I mean, the guy is off a win here, had a decent performance versus JDM. So, what do you think, Fitz? You think that the line's accurate, or
No, dude. I mean, it really doesn't make sense to me. I want to pick Basil. I'm close to it. I don't think I will just because I think Oban's just going to be a little too good. He's going to land that 1-2 on the feet. If Oban can pressure him forward, he's going to have a lot of success in this fight. Fighting off the back foot, I think Basil coming forward could be dangerous if he's able to keep the pressure for 3 rounds, especially if he's able to time some takedowns. I don't know though. You know, Oban's a good scrambler. You know that scrambling will probably tire out Basil. I think he's the one with more cardio issues. Just for me, I mean, dude, what does Oban really do really well in there? I mean, he's a decent striker, decent grappler, but he doesn't blow me away. I think he's being overhyped. Like his last fight, it was a pretty good win, but I mean, it was a very close fight against Preston Parsons, who's just a very bang average fighter for me. And then against Val Woodburn, he's getting fucking dropped, you know. So what does that say about him? It's got to be the value on Basil here. I'll probably end up, you know, being a pussy and just picking Oban to win, but I mean the value's all on Basil. I mean everyone was so high on him coming off that JDM fight, and I mean I get it. It was a close fight against Mickey Gall. I mean,
shit, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, he won 30-27, I think, on 2
Bro,
judges. So
I had Basel
he
Hafez
definitely doesn't have head movement though.
I've never sweated more in my fucking life. I like in hindsight, I don't even care what the judges scorecard say. He was getting rocked in that fight by Mickey Gall. It's like, who is
Oban
Mickey
has
Gall
a nice
rocking?
one too, and if Mickey Gall is landing that, Oban's gonna find the home for that, I think.
One thing about Mickey though, I will say the guy actually he has some power. Like I don't think Oban is like as powerful, you know. And I do agree with you, Fitz. It's like I think Oban's his best asset is just like being like
Durability.
conditioning, you know, like that's his best feature because he's really like you could tell he's in great shape and like you have to like knock him out unconscious and shit. Like, but even his fight on Contender Series too, like you're saying, he got dropped by Val Woodburn, and then we see him talking about his chin. I mean, he got almost knocked out on Contender Series too. Like he got dropped on Contender Series, rocked bad, and so I mean,
There was a couple Cage Warriors fights. He ain't look too hot. That kid, Michael Figlak, when they fought, I don't know if that was a championship fight or not, but I remember late in that fight, Michael Figlak fucking sent his shit packing. But I will say though, he's got some good wins in Cage Warriors prior to coming over to the UFC. Of like,
That,
it's
that,
not the most impressive performances, but the people that he was fighting at the age that he was fighting, it is pretty impressive.
yeah, I was looking like he actually had like a few names like I saw like that I knew like from like that England scene, but yeah, the thing that kind of I was gonna maybe lean towards Hafez like Fitz, but the thing that's thrown me off, like it's like I feel like he has power. Like you're watching him fight, and it's like I thought he was rocking Mickey Gall and stuff, but he has one knockout win. So it's like that's kind of throwing me off. Like if he had power, I would pick him, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, don't let the muscles fool
He
you, type of
definitely
thing.
he throws big punches, but I just don't think he has natural. He doesn't. It's a
yeah,
lot of wild punches, and I just don't think he has that knockout power. I mean, he throws hard. I mean, he swings, and they'll look like big punches. But I just, like you said, I think Oban's someone comes in really good shape. It's tough to get out of there, but I mean, the line is just off in my opinion. It got steamrolled. I mean, I guess for a reason though.
Yeah, I feel like the line got steamed so high that they're just kind of like and trying to invite people to kind of like value trap them into like Basel Hafez. Like if you just pulled up this
yeah,
card and you
exactly.
looked at like lines on the card that didn't make sense, you'd be like, "Fucking Oban Elliott minus 300. What the fuck am I? What am I not thinking?" And then you see where the line actually opened at and where it went. It's probably the biggest line movement out of any fight on this whole entire card.
Yeah, and it makes sense because you could say like Oban is more technical, and he's coming in like with a little more momentum, I think. But yeah, we'll see if Hafez can step up there. But next fight, we've been talking about Mickey Gall. One thing I think it's weird, it's like Basso just beat him, but Mickey Gall is fucking fighting above him on the card for whatever reason. But Mickey Gall versus Brahimaj, what do you think about this fight, Billy?
Yeah, this is a weird one. I feel like Mickey's goal career is kind of like a prime example of what can happen in the UFC if you get too signed early in your career. Originally, he was signed to the promotion at 1-0, and he's been in the UFC for almost about a decade. And now he's 7-6 as he enters this fight with a 3-fight losing streak, and he's lost 6 out of his last 9 fights after starting his career off with 4 straight wins. Gall has been known for his jiu-jitsu, but he still only has a few amount of submissions in the UFC. I feel like he's been trying to trust a lot of more of his striking more. Brahim's last bout was kind of like an emotional performance with him returning from a career-threatening injury that made him take a 2-year layoff. I'm glad this fight's in MSG because it's actually going to be Brahimaj that's the hometown fighter from New York. This is going to be the New York versus New Jersey brawl. I can't ignore the finishing upside that Brahimaj has. Gal's never been submitted before, so on paper he's the minute winner, but it's just laying the chalk price tag on Mickey Gall is never the optimal strategy in betting in 2024.
Yeah. What about you, Fitz? Who you got here?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean the same side. I'm gonna be on Ramiz here. Mickey Gall, someone has really poor takedown defense. I understand, some people are under the impression that he's made a lot of improvements, but I just don't know if that's the case. He did look decent in the last fight against Hafez, like we were talking about. Striking looked pretty good, but we've seen him taken down repetitively throughout his UFC career. I mean, Ramiz, if he gets you down in that first round, I mean, he's pretty much going to get you out of there. He's a pretty prolific finisher, especially in the first round. Not really someone I want to bet on, though. This is another fight I'm pretty much passing on. I'll have a little bet on Ramiz round 1 submission. That's it. Not like a big underdog. Targeting here just because if it gets out of that first round, what are his chances of winning the fight? It's not very good. And he's a guy who, came off a major surgery and we haven't seen get a win in years, so at the end of the day, not someone I really will back as a confident underdog, but I'll go ahead and pick Ramiz to get a round 1 submission against Mickey Gall.
Yeah, round 1 sub sitting at plus 1100 on FanDuel. If you wanted to go submission just straight up, plus 500, and submission in rounds 1 and 2 for Ramiz Brahimaj is sitting at plus 1000 or plus 700. My bad.
Yeah, if you like Brahimaj, I think that's the way to play it, especially with those odds. But I'm gonna go with Mickey, man. I mean, just looking at Ramiz, the guy's beaten nobody. Even like the guys that he submitted, like Sasha
And
Colada.
Michael.
I know for sure, like Sasha has no grappling, and so it's like just because
Sasha submitted Koskin. Koskin.
but just because he fucking took those guys down and submitted them in the first round, like that doesn't tell me anything, dude. Michael Gilmore, like who the
Yeah.
fuck? Happy
He was-
Gilmore, dude. I have no clue. It's so he got dropped and dominated by Court McGee, dude. He was getting like obliterated. I think he lost like 30-26 to a 40-year-old Court. At least like I was like fucking Mickey's been losing recently, but the guy is having to fight hard ass fights, man. Like he fought Mike Malott, he fought Morono, he fought fucking Hafez, he fought Mike Perry. Like he's fighting guys that are legit, like actual fighters. And I think he's being more
He also
competitive.
fought CM Punk.
Yeah, it's
And Mike Jackson.
Mike Jackson. But I mean, honestly, you have to be impressed to me, at least. Like, dude, if you would have told me, like, when he got signed at 1-0, like, to fight Mike Jackson, that he'd be in the UFC like 10 years later, like, I don't think many people would.
That is impressive.
It's hard to get cut when you fight once every 2 years, you know.
But still, though, I mean, dude, it's still kind of like even the fact that he got wins over like guys in the UFC, like, because he had no like he came in at 1-0, like it's like he literally had fought fucking nobody, and then at least he like KO'd like, dude, Jordan Williams beat RoboCop and fucking Mickey Gall knocked him out or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying Mickey Gall's a world beater, but I think Hermes is terrible. I mean, the guy has no volume on the feet. You could tell he's like scared as shit to get touched. At least Mickey's tough, you know. I don't know. Yeah, I think there's honestly some value on him to get the KO at plus 600. I mean, I wouldn't bet it. I would say Mickey by submission is more likely, even though Hermes is like a big submission guy. I think if Mickey hurts him, he'll probably sub him. You look at Mickey too, like the large majority of his wins in the UFC are first round subs. Like Fitz was saying, like Ramiz, I think he's terrible after round one. He's 0-4 in decisions, but Mickey Gall is 1-4 in decisions too. So it's like combined, these guys are 1-8 when the fight hits the scorecards. So you'd think probably someone maybe will get the finish. Like maybe that's a good angle to look at this.
But I actually don't, though, man. I feel like Mickey wins this fight by decision at a very high clip if it goes the distance.
If it goes the distance, I think he'll win. But I'm just saying, it's like historically, both these guys when they win, like 90. I think Ramiz 100%.
Yeah,
but
it's
Mickey,
hard though, because look at the people that Ramiz is fighting, though. Like you were just bringing up, like there's some shit. Like I see why he has 100% finishing rate.
and then I think Mickey's only won decision once. Like I said, he's 1-4, and all his other wins are finishes. So it's like just like historically, I'm looking at the price too. Like, hold up 1 second. Fight ends inside the distance is plus 110. I mean, you're getting plus money. I don't think it's a terrible bet, but I'm not going to be playing it. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's the worst play for that. Like, if you want to put some money on that fight.
Mickey Gall's decision win is Salim Tuhari.
Was that?
Who the fuck is that guy, dude?
That's like, I don't know. I mean, these guys have some horrible wins, man. Like, so,
Salim Tuhari is crazy.
Gonna be a fucking draw. So, but this is a better fight. This next one, I'll let Fitz go first on this one. He was saying he liked this fight. Ty Bora versus Janata Janice. Striker versus wrestler fight. What do you think about it here?
Yeah, I always like these striker versus grappler matches. I'm gonna go right at you, Guru. I don't understand how a couple weeks ago you're saying you're trusting the takedowns of Derek Lewis, and then you're gonna pick against Tybura here. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I'm putting a lot of weight on everything going into the fight. Like Tybura
on short note, he looked in good shape though.
He was in Europe.
He didn't look too fat.
That's true. It's like I don't know. I just don't know how sure. If he had a full camp, I'd pick him 100%. Like
yeah.
But dude, I think I was looking too, like, because there's this website where you could see like fighters' records like on short notice within like whatever 4 to 6. I think his short notice record was like 0-4 or something. Tybura and UFC. So usually when he comes in on short notice, he doesn't perform well, you know. So That's really what threw me off, but I get it. And it's like Tybor has been looking horrible, man. Like first Spivak, he got submitted in like a minute. Like,
Bro, he got armbarred in a male heavyweight fight. Bro, that's wild.
How can you get armbarred from guard in heavyweight in the UFC? Like, and you're supposed to be a
Bro, that's wild, bro. An armbar, bro, in a male fight, bro, is wild, bro. You don't even see that shit when like your friends fight.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like a fucking Maurice Green, like he's like one of 5 guys that has a triangle in UFC. Like none of these heavyweights are getting submissions off their back, or very fucking few, man. So it's like, I don't know. Obviously, Denise isn't gonna fucking submit him, but even
it's not about submitting. Can he just get the fuck up after the first takedown?
That's the thing. It's like I feel like if Tybora takes him down, he has to finish him like in the first round. Like if he takes him down early, he has to get that finish. If he doesn't finish him and the round 2 starts,
Deniz will pick him apart, dude. Deniz is a good striker, man. His leg kicks are nasty. He's a powerful puncher. I mean, we see everyone land on Tybora, so I get it. For me, I mean, there's just a huge hole in that grappling, in my opinion. And Tybora is someone who has proven he can exploit that in fighters. If he gets on top, in my opinion, the fight's pretty much over.
But dude, look at like his fight with fucking Blagoy. Like,
but you can't compare the grappling of those two. Blagoy is a fucking. How do you even submit Blagoy? How is that even possible?
It went to. Oh yeah, I get.
That's what. How could you possibly submit him? His neck is seared onto his shoulders. His head. He's. I wouldn't compare the grappling though, but you can't even compare the striking either. I mean, if it stays on the feet, if it gets out of that first round, I think it's Deniz all day. But I'll take Tybura to get a round 1 finish. I don't know if it'll be submission or KO. I just bet the round 1 prop.
So do you like the unders in this fight?
Yeah, I like the under 1.5. What is it at? Like minus 150, 170?
Plus 125 on.
Yes, I definitely like it then, yeah.
They tell you on DraftKings DraftKings it's plus 110, at least on here it's saying. So. Yeah, I mean, plus
old gloves back.
Yeah, fucking
back in the violence era, baby.
Chris and John made the call, right, for the fucking old gloves. Get the my folks back, dude. But yeah, I mean, what about you, Billy? I mean, break the tie here. Who you got?
I think I gotta figure this out because from a gambling perspective, I feel like weighing out the risk. Fight to end by KO is only minus 105, which is pretty wild. Because I feel like if Tybura wins, it's probably like him getting on top of Deniz and like grounding him out or something like that. But I'm starting to warm up to after weigh-ins. I think Deniz is one of the better underdog picks of the card.
Yeah.
He was about to fight Derek Lewis, and he was like minus 175, minus 180. And now he's plus 122 against Marcin Tybura. He just got fucking armbarred by Sergey Spivak. Granted, Tybura should be able to take him down, but I think Deniz gets back up, bro. Like, I think he can win the decision. I think he can win a knockout. Like, nobody's paying for a fucking MSG ticket to watch Marcin Tybura wrestle. Deniz is the pick.
Well, how much credit, let me ask you this, Fitz. Like, how much credit do you give Deniz for beating Carl Williams versus, like, Carl Williams not having the right...
He didn't shoot a takedown in the first 2 rounds, dude. He didn't shoot a single takedown. I mean, you can't say his takedown defense looked better because Carl Williams shot and took him down in the first takedown he shot, but it was in the 3rd round. The fight was already lost, So, I mean... I don't know. If Austin Lane is getting his full mount on you, what is Tybura going to do?
Yeah, that's true. If he takes him down, like I said, I think it's over.
I mean, you were talking about the takedown threats of Derek Lewis on this guy.
But Derek Lewis, dude, the thing with Derek Lewis is
I get it.
But I'm saying the takedown would be a lot less. Like he wouldn't have been expecting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The takedown. That's what.
He also doesn't necessarily need it to win the fight. It's not his only path to
with
victory.
Tybura,
Tybura is not going to win a striking fight.
he knows for a fact what Tybura is going to do before the fight starts. You know what I mean? Like 100%. Like there's no way that Tybura is going to go out there and strike with him. So I feel like it with Derek Lewis. The reason why I don't know, maybe I'll be off on it, and I do I get what you're saying because I was like fucking talking shit about his wrestling for sure, but it's like I feel like with Tybura, he knows exactly what his game plan is going to be. It should be easier for him to stuff the takedown, even though Tybura is a better wrestler. And dude, just the fact like Tybura, all his wins, like even against these other guys that can't grapple either, that he finished, like Greg Hardy and shit, like he has to take a lot of damage, to win.
Yeah.
And it's like, is he going to take that versus Janice? I don't know.
I think
he could, but
Greg Hardy might be more of a power puncher than Denise.
You think so? I don't know.
Not a more technical striker, but have more power. Denise hasn't really shown me that he's a big knockout puncher, What are you gonna do? What are you planning on doing?
I don't know. John fans are fucking crazy. Jimmy the Drug. Now, but I know
Jimmy the Drug. Go.
Tybura loses to Specialist. Yeah, he lost to Derek Lewis. He lost to the guy that we're kind of. And dude, Derek Lewis got like fucking. He back mounted Derek Lewis, and Derek Lewis just stood up like nothing. It was like what the. That was like one of the first fights where he was doing that BS. But yeah, man, this next fight we're gonna talk about. Honestly, I don't have a lot to say about this one. I only watched like one fight of this Roberto Romero guy. I just kind of knew I wasn't gonna bet him even at the price, and didn't really like. I don't know. I wasn't gonna play fucking David Onama at minus 1,200, so I think the over is kind of viable, but I just don't like that it's fucking minus 135. I would rather be plus money, especially with the short notice, just because Romero, he does have some good things going for him. He's an Iridium fighter, which they don't sign like bums. He's going to be decent. He trains with Timo Yama, which is a good camp, and he's
Mexican.
He's Mexican. He's fought decent guys in fucking Combate too and done well. Like he's gotten hurt and came back.
Let's ride that over. I love it. Let's ride it. Over 1.5 too.
I kind of like it. Yeah,
I love that.
Small, dude. He's small. That's one thing.
Yeah, I know.
That's gonna be an issue. Like he's probably gonna have to take like a lot of shots, and we're gonna have to like fucking hold our breath. But I think he can survive fucking 7.5 minutes if he's not like taking this fight in like horrible shape, having not trained at all. Because how long has he had?
Which I doubt it. Like a couple days, less than a week.
Yeah, but he made weight, right, and all that.
Yeah.
So you'd think he would be good. Fucking Yontop had to go up 10 pounds. He had a full camp. So, but Romero's just basically a boxer though, and he's gonna have to close that distance. So you think at some point like Onama will probably snipe him, and if he's actually struggling, he could take him down. I don't think this guy is like great grappling, but what about you, Billy? You like the over, or you think Onama's gonna smoke him early?
This is giving me the Elizu Selesky vibes from last week. I think Onama's gonna come in here and smoke him. There's not a lot of African fighters on the roster. They're kind of made it an emphasis to get Onama in a matchup this week. And this is kind of like the highlight reel knockout, I feel like. Nothing crazy, but I think it probably comes in rounds 2 or 3. 2 would be my prediction. I think you're right. The first round, why the fuck would he just go across the cage and just like smoke dude if dude's on super short notice? Let him gas out a little bit. I like David Onama knockout round 2.
Yeah. One thing I will say why I like the over too is all of Onama's fights except for one went over 1.5 in UFC. So I think that's a good trend to kind of look at.
Level of competition though.
But he fought like guys that aren't that good too though. Like he fought like Garrett Armfield on like 5 days notice and it went over. And Armfield's like at 135.
Yeah, but they already fought before.
Yeah, he finished him the first time too though. I don't know. I feel like that would make I don't know. I think Romero's like tougher to finish than Armfield, but I guess he did finish that fucking Gabe Santos guy. That was like but he was getting his ass whooped. Remember that fight? That was like a badass fight.
How can you forget?
But yeah, man, this next fight, Jim Miller versus Damon Jackson, kind of a weird fight. I mean, this is another one where there was line movement because Miller, I saw for sure opened as the favorite in this fight. He was like minus 140 or something. Maybe it was a little closer, but he was definitely the favorite. And now it totally flipped, like where Damon Jackson was minus 200. So you agree with this line movement, Billy, or are you going to ride with the old warhorse here, Jim Miller?
Damn, man, this is a fight. I really don't want to bet this fight. I even peeped that Damon Jackson was moving up a weight class for this fight, and that what kind of made me not really want to bet this one. There's some value to be had on the Jim Miller by decision, I think, at plus 500, but I really screams 29-28 Damon Jackson. I think I'm going to bet Jim Miller by knockout or Damon Jackson by decision at minus 130, or take Damon Jackson by decision at plus 165. One of those two are going to hit, or fight to start round 3 if you want to go chalk donkey style, minus 172.
Yeah, I think for Jim Miller, man, it's first round or bust, man, for him. I don't see a lot of value in the decision. I mean, you look at Miller, like he's had a couple fights recently where he's been able to win like after round 1, but almost all his wins, like for a while, man, for like years, were only in round 1. So that's usually what he does. He goes out there and he goes hard for that finish early. And I think he's definitely gonna have a chance to knock Damon Jackson out. I mean, the guy's vulnerable. He's fucking hittable. He just got beat up too pretty bad. Like that fight versus Chepe was in August, and I feel like he got his ass whooped in that fight. Like it wasn't an easy fight. So, maybe he's gonna have some issues. But if it gets out of the first round, I just see him grappling him up and taking him down and laying on him in a half guard. And Miller will probably be good enough to not get finished. Like so. Kind of what I think, but yeah, I mean, 55 Damon Jackson. What do you think about that, Fitz? You think that's like a good move, or you think? What do you think about the fight?
I mean, I guess maybe just where he has in his career, he's definitely a guy who kind of gasses out and has durability issues. So maybe the move up in weight will help him out here ultimately, but we'll have to see. It's hard to really say before he gets in the octagon. You know what I mean? I do think he'll win this fight. I think he's going to find takedowns here. Jim Miller is a guy who can get taken down. Honestly, I look to see Damon Jackson control the fight. Maybe even get a later submission, like a second or third round submission. Like you said, I think Jim Miller is going to come out hard. Should try to pressure him. We'll see how Damon Jackson deals with the southpaw, but he should be able to, stick him at range, land that teep kick, that front kick he likes, and I think ultimately Damon Jackson is going to get takedowns here. Jim Miller took a lot of damage in his last fight.
Yeah,
I'll be on the Damon Jackson side here.
Do you agree though that for Miller, he's kind of like first round or bust here?
Yeah, I mean first round, early second round. Yeah, first 7.5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the line isn't great though. Like plus 450 for him in round 1. Like that's not too enticing to me.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, he took a lot of damage in that last fight. At that age, he's had a lot of fights.
But I thought Damon Jackson, dude, I rewatched.
He's not at the same age as Jim Miller. He's not in his 40s yet. It's a big difference.
That's true. I think good for him to move.
He kind of got tossed around. Jim Miller took a lot of strikes to the head, dude. It was just.
Yeah.
At the end of that fight, he almost got knocked out. I mean, Bobby was really beating him.
Jim Miller is so durable, though, dude. Like that dude's like a freak of nature. Like if you look at it, I don't think he's. Has he ever been submitted? I guess Charles submitted him, right? He knocked him out, but I don't know if he's ever been submitted in the UFC. Maybe Charles got him though. If he did, it was that second Charles fight. But,
yeah, Charles got him. Chiesa got him.
Oh, Chiesa submitted him.
Yeah, and Nick Diaz too.
Oh shit, I'm retarded. I don't know.
That Nick Diaz that's one of his famous guillotines. That Nick Diaz was a nasty one.
Yeah. I think Nate was the the first person to finish Jim Miller.
Yeah.
But I know Jim, like, for sure, he's only been knocked out with so it's like the guy like Dan Hooker KO'd him and someone else KO'd him with a knee, I think. But,
Cerrone.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. This next fight, though, I mean, talk about someone getting knocked out. I guess David Jackson has a lot of knockout losses, but fucking Chris Weidman. But man, one of these guys, dude, they're looking to make it 2 in a row. It's going to be the first time in over 5 years for whoever wins their second fight in a row. Anders, yeah, I think it's been like right around 5 years for Weidman, dude. He hasn't won 5 fights in a row since he was, or 2 fights in a row since he was undefeated, dude. Since then, he's never won.
I've been watching the sport, dude. It's crazy.
I mean, but honestly, I'm going with Weidman though to get that second dub in a row, man. I think he's gonna do it. I mean, I feel like this is an easy matchup. I mean, obviously, no fights are gonna be easy for Chris at this point, but when you're looking at it like from a matchup perspective, Anders is just as slow as him. I mean, Chris might be faster in this fight, which is like it's hard to say for him versus a lot of guys in the UFC at this point. He definitely has better footwork. I feel like he's like the better striker. If they had a kickboxing fight and you told me it went like the decision, I would say Chris won like all day. So I think if it stays on the feet, Chris is gonna win. And then Anders has been like grinding guys against the fence, and it's like you'd think Chris can out cage wrestle the guy, can take him down. I think Chris is going to be in better shape. So I feel like this is a good spot for Weidman to pick up the win. But yeah, I mean, maybe Anders can land a knee or a big punch, but I don't think Anders is like a big knockout threat. I mean, the guy has barely any finishes in his whole UFC career. He's older too. It's not like Anders is a young guy. So, and another thing I don't like about Anders, I mean, I saw that he was going on these trips. Like he went on a trip for the military. Like he went to Spain in October, and he was going on the I think he went on another trip where it's like, how much has he really been training? Like, has he been taking this fight super serious? He just barely fucking scraped by Jamie Pickett, dude. Like he got hurt bad by Jamie Pickett and like almost finished. And Pickett's like 40 years old too, so I just think Anders hasn't been looking that good, and Weidman obviously is not at a good point either, but I feel like he didn't look horrible his last fight, even though he won with the eye poke. But yeah, I'm going to go with Weidman. What do you think, Fitz? Who you got here?
I got Weidman. You know, I'm biased, so I'll admit it. He's my all-time number 1 favorite fighter. You know, got to see him get that win in Atlantic City. Obviously, you know, looking back now, it's not as cool as it was in the moment, but I'll get him see him fight live again, so I'm stoked. And I think he can win this fight here. It's tough. I would like, you know, more of like a plus 200 next to his name if I was looking to get to the window to bet it. You know, it's a close line. It's a sharp line. I think he wins. Eric Anders, I feel, is pretty washed, man. Like you said, he got dropped by Jamie Pickett. That's not a good look. So, you know, I'm not going to dive too deep in this one because I will really, you know, never pick against Chris Weidman if I'm just, you know, keeping it real, you know. So let's go Chris Weidman knockout because Anders, he's not just getting dropped by, you know, Pickett. You know, Barry Ute dropped him, hurt him, I'm pretty sure. He looked good in the Dawkins fight, but he's definitely been getting touched up in some of these fights, dude.
Yeah, and what about you, Billy? You going with Weidman, or are you gonna be one dissenter?
Yeah, I'll be the one dissenter here. I like Eric Anders here. I don't like the market here for Chris Weidman. 70% of the handle and 57% of the bets here are coming in on Chris Weidman. I think there's just a huge athleticism gap for Eric Anders here. Eric, your boy Anders by decision is the pick, prediction, and bet.
Word. We'll see. I bet Weidman. Full disclosure, I got him at plus.
I didn't bet Eric Anders, but I'm saying like I think fight goes the distance is probably the bet.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more than likely going to go to decision. Minus 180. I think that's a decent price too. Like,
I disagree. I
You
mean,
think-
both these guys are chinny, bro. I mean, just
Yeah,
in terms
but
of
I just feel like
durability.
if Eric
how the
Anders
fight
wins-
realistically how it plays out, likely it goes to decision. But a minus 180 line next to Eric Anders and Chris Weidman at 40 years old each.
But think about it like this, though, Fitz. If Eric Anders did win this fight, they're not gonna fucking disrespect Chris Weidman in New York and let Eric Anders knock out Chris Weidman.
Chris Weidman got
When the
disrespected
fuck
by
is
Yoel
Chris
Romero's
Weidman?
knee in New York City. So
I'm just saying, when
he's
the fuck
gotten
is
done
Chris
nastily in New
Weidman?
York.
When is Chris Weidman? I just don't see Chris Weidman finishing Eric Anders. I just don't see it. So it's like I just see this going the distance.
Got the finish last fight. Hell of a finish there.
Yeah,
Fucking
plus 1,000 Chris Weidman knockout ticket in my hand.
I'm just fucking with you though. Wasn't real finish. But when's the last time? I guess he finished Kelvin though. He finished Kelvin with that
Arm triangle, yeah.
That had to be like fucking 10 years ago, dude. That shit was so long.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you not bet fight goes the distance should be like minus 215, minus 220.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if a Chris Weidman fight to go to the distance will ever be that number, dude. I mean, at one point, this guy was getting knocked out by everything.
Did he say that he's gonna retire, or are you just guessing that? But yeah, I mean, if he wins 2 in a row and dude, he wins that shit, he probably should retire because that loss is coming.
I would give him Driscus.
Yeah, dude.
Or bro, give him Kamzat. We're talking American wrestling. Give him Bo Nickel if he wins, bro. That's Chris versus Bo.
That'd be a passing of the torch for real.
I remember after his last fight, he was calling out Sean Strickland. I'm like, dude, I don't get it. I mean, some people like to be like fucking glutton for punishment, I guess. But man, he should retire if he wins. It would be the perfect way to go out. I mean, see how many more times is he gonna win in New York City?
Yeah, but what the fuck are you gonna do with Chris Weidman winning a decision against Eric Anders? I feel like at least you could package
crazy.
What do you mean? Package up Eric Anders against jobbers.
Weidman's beloved.
You don't think people will be hyped about it?
No. I'm not. They don't give a fuck about people. I'm talking about the UFC of just like usually when somebody's about to retire or they're on their way out of retirement, they usually don't try to let them leave out on a win because it boosts up their stock of like, let's say if Chris Weidman is on a 2-fight win streak, he looks good.
Weidman going over to the PFL.
I'm just saying, though, like Chris Weidman should forever be
beloved country. He's a beloved company guy, bro. They love him. They want him. They want him to get him out on a win.
I 100% think they're trying to set him up to win here.
Yeah, 1,000%. It's just I just don't think he gets to win.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it's like, dude, they couldn't have given him a fucking easier fight. Like, who would they have given him that's easier? Like, it's a pretty.
They could give him like Dylan Budka.
Mills had me dying. He was like the only other person I could think that Weidman could beat in this weight class would be like Nico Price. And I was like, I could definitely see Nico Price versus Weidman. It was heavy rolling.
Well, like I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I think Bruno Silva is better than anyone. Like I think
I wouldn't.
Bruno Silva
say that better than anyone.
Fight, but I mean, if they would,
Silva was just
Bruno Silva, yeah,
fight. He was garbage.
Not this guy, Bruno Silva, that we seen in the last 2 fights. I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Yeah, but man, this next fight we got a pretty sick fight right here. Let you go first on this one, Billy. Jonathan Martinez versus Marcus McGee. What are you thinking of this fight?
Oh, man. I like Marcus McGee, but how much do I like Marcus McGee, really? Because I didn't bet on it. I feel like I've had every opportunity to bet on Marcus McGee throughout the week. But my system would say the bet fight goes the distance, Jonathan Martinez by decision. But as you know, as one will always say, fuck the system. The system doesn't always work. I'm breaking the system here. I think Marcus McGee by KO or decision. Marcus McGee to win. Fight to start round 2. Marcus McGee money line. I don't love this fight.
Yeah, I don't like it from a betting perspective, personally, but I kind of think. I mean, the line's closed quite a bit, but I still think Martinez is the pick from a value perspective. If I had to bet it, Marcus McGee, the guy is like looks really good. He looks fast. He has like good footwork and shit. But I just feel like Martinez has fought way, way, way better competition, man. And like he just went 3 rounds with Aldo. I get he got dominated, but I feel like he's just seen a like really high level of striker and
How do you see him beat him though? Like, how do you see leg kicks?
yeah, kicks at range, being
Because
fast,
I mean, it's
moving.
open stance, so I mean, the leg kicks I don't really know are gonna be there. And how do you feel about Jonathan Martinez just fucking off and training by himself?
Yeah, like that's
He's not.
terrible.
I saw people saying that, but if you go like on his Instagram, he's training with guys that like are pretty good. Like even though he's at it, I get like I don't think he has like a coach, which is not good, like a head coach for the training
It
camp.
sounds
But
terrible.
he's not like with Hernandez and Royval, right?
No, he's
No,
not at
No.
3X, but he's training with like good, like I saw he was training with good like Texas fighters. Like he wasn't training with nobodies. You
what,
know what I
TJ Brown?
mean?
That
TJ
was the picture I saw. TJ Brown saying, uh, all this work and preparation for this camp.
well,
God bless.
TJ Brown
I
isn't
was
bad,
like, what?
but yeah, I know like he was training with like that guy Mo Miller. You know who that is? He's like a really
Yeah,
good. Like he was training with Mo Miller,
he's
a
kind of trash.
few other
McGee,
guys. Well, he's not like a good. He's not a good
dude. I
enemy.
mean, McGee looks like a killer, dude. He's fucking jacked up. The one thing I don't like is the age. I mean, 34, not too many fights. Kind of burst onto the UFC scene late, was an underdog in that fight against Sharni Newsome, and he's finished everyone up in the UFC. I get it. Martinez was on a really good winning streak, before that Jose Aldo lost, but for me, it's not the most real winning streak. I thought he lost against Sire Nurmagomedov, honestly. So it was a little bit, kind of like an asterisk winning streak in my personal opinion. And I just see Marcus McGee being able to do a lot of the same things Aldo did. Except I think he's gonna have a lot more pop in his hands. Like, I mean, Jonathan Martinez is a guy we see get hurt, dude. He gets wobbled in a lot of his fights. Davy Grant obviously slept him. I'm gonna pick Marcus McGee to get a knockout here, actually, and really make a big statement win.
Yeah, I think if he wins, he's gonna get the KO. Like that's just his style. But I mean, the thing with McGee that I didn't like why I wouldn't bet on him or anything is he doesn't he throws like a lot of like single strikes. Like he's not like super high volume, and he doesn't go to the body. Like which is what Aldo did to really win that fight. Like so maybe he'll switch it up. But another thing that kind of threw me off, like, and maybe I'm overthinking it, but what do you guys think about like the fact that Kyler Phillips just got fucking fraud check bad by Rob Font, like dominated. Like, does that kind of do anything for you? The fact that they
No,
trained
not at
together?
all. Because we've seen that in Kyler before. We saw it in the Julian Paiva fight. He has the ability to lay an egg. I mean, I think a lot of people just. I don't think Kyler Phillips is bad. I just think he has his days, bro. I mean,
Yeah, no, fact.
and I think Marcus McGee is a beast, bro. If you ask me, he has everything I like to see. Maybe Martinez is very high level, dude. Martinez could make me look, stupid as he could have a ton of value as the underdog here,
Yeah,
but,
see,
but
that's
Just off the market, though, I feel like like if you like Martinez, why the fuck would you bet the money line? I think you just bet the decision at plus 250. It's one of those type of bets.
wow. I think Martinez can KO anybody. I mean, the guy's dangerous. So I just think Martinez at plus money is decent bet because it's like, dude, he was like you say, he was minus 135 versus Aldo, and now he's an underdog to Marcus McGee.
that's Aldo coming off a huge layoff. You know what I mean?
I agree with Fitz on
But
that, though.
still, though, like,
I mean,
dude,
we
that
bet on Aldo as the underdog. So I mean,
Aldo is like a way better striker than Marcus McGee. It's not like they're not even on the same universe.
No, I mean, I agree. I didn't agree with the line. We all had Aldo tickets, so why
No,
should
I
I really agree with the line?
like that's like insane. It's a lot more value, if like you like Martinez there and like, but I don't know. You are right, like with the fact that they're both southpaws. That kind of does give maybe McGee like a little advantage, but McGee does switch a lot, dude. He's always doing that. Like I feel like he overdoes that footwork shit. Like he's always fucking moving around and stuff, but obviously he's in good shape.
I mean, McGee fought in his last fight a very, in my opinion, similar opponent. in
Yeah.
Bolaños, you know. So I think he's going to be prepared for the matchup. I like McGee here. Maybe someone I'm diving a little too into the hype on. You know, I have the ability to do that. You know, sometimes buy into fighters too much, and this is definitely without question. Even though the matchup with Bolaños was similar, this is a huge step up in competition. So.
Yeah, that's the one thing like why I think Martinez is like not the worst bet, just because like I said, he's fought like he's super proven, whereas McGee, he hasn't beaten anyone that's like worth a shit. Like I guess Bolaños you could say is decent, but like I don't know. I think like if
I mean, the GOAT, JP Bays,
yeah, yeah. But if you're gonna like fade
King Cuck.
McGee at the right time, like this might be like the right because like if he goes in here and fucking runs through Martinez, then like he's kind of like proved himself as like super legit. Right? Like this might be the last time you can fade him and like look smart if he looks like shit or like kind of is not on the same level, but you could also get burned, So that's kind of why I'm passing because like I don't really know what to think about that fight to be honest. Yeah, man. Starting off the main card, we got Mauricio Hufis taking on James Yontop, and this is another one where it's like Hufis minus 900. I mean, you agree with that line, Fitz?
No, it's too wide, but I mean, it's as big of a line it is. Man, Hoofy looks huge at the weigh-ins. I mean, James Muffin Top is what I'm calling him. He looks like these guys. I mean, if you look up, I don't know how much you guys watch, politics and stuff, but he looks straight out of like El Salvadorian prison, like one of the 80,000 prisoners they got down there right now. I think the line's off, though. I'm talking a little shit. It's way too wide. I mean, what does people think? Rufi's gonna walk through him, get a knockout. This guy is tough, man. He's durable. I actually like the over in this fight. I might bet like Hufi round 3 KO. We saw that in his contender series fight. He can be patient. I know the debut. He set the world on fire, man. He's set the sport on fire. Lon Top 0-2 in the UFC, so really hasn't impressed. I mean, I guess that's why the line is where it is, but it's just wide for me. I think I'll take Hoofy round 3K. I'll probably end up getting to the line with that round 3 ticket for Hoofy. To be honest, I like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking too, like round 2, round 3 for Hoofy would be a decent play. But one thing like, I don't like though, where it's like I could get burned and he could get finished in the first. Fucking Yontop is like you guys are saying, like, he looks in horrible shape. He came in on short notice for the fight, and he just fought, man. Like the guy just fought Slava, like what, like less than 2 months ago, and he got like beat up in that fight pretty bad. Like, so I feel like the UFC called him, and they basically said like you're 0-2. If you want to stay in the UFC, get another fight, you better accept this shit. And we're putting you against Hoofy on this main card, like setting your ass up, and it's like, could you just go
No, facts though, bro. That's probably really how the conversation
what
went.
I mean, like, so it's like he could go out there no confidence and like just get ramrodded. But like, who knows? Like, I do definitely think that though, because dude, like you said, he looks in horrible shape. So they had to have like he's in no position to say no to a fight. Like 0-2 in the UFC, if they call him, dude, like if he says no, they might never call him again. Like he might fucking have to go.
Well,
fight.
I think this is the last fight in his contract.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Like, if he only had
This would be his fourth fight, right?
no, he's 0-2. So I think,
Oh, never mind.
yeah, this is the third one for him. But yeah, either way, though, I'm still like they can cut you at any time. Like if he would have said no to that fight, and I think he had like missed weight before too, or like something. So, like, I don't think he was like in great grace with UFC. But yeah, what do you think about this one, Billy?
You gotta roll with Rufy here. It's just more like how does he get it done? I feel like the tape study would tell you that there is an opening door for a decision. This fight kind of gives me Kayla Harrison, Caitlin Vieira vibes from I don't know if that was the last pay per view or a couple pay per views ago. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
But
James kind of does look like Caitlin Vieira, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Of like, remember Caitlin Vieira? I mean, not Caitlin Vieira. Kayla Harrison was a huge favorite in that fight, and she just won like a unanimous decision. Like, I could definitely see Ruffy just kind of like jabbing his way to a decision. If he gets a knockout, it's probably going to be in the later rounds, like you guys are saying. Um, I feel like he's just going to stay on his P's and Q's. What people think Ruffy is kind of not what he is, but he is going to win this fight. So it's like one of those ones of like, I don't think he's the talent of a minus 1,000 favorite, but if you're asking me if he's going to win the fight and probably inside the distance, I'm not going to tell you no. Like, he probably got a better shot with. Do you think you got a better shot with Lion Top or Paul Craig as a big dog? Is really the question you need to ask yourself if you're a value boy.
I guess Paul Craig. I don't know, man.
Am I right?
I mean, at least everyone knows like Paul Craig's path to victory. Like he has one. Like how does Lomtop win the fight, bro? Like
I really
how can
don't
you even
know,
create
bro.
an argument? Bro?
Volume,
Like what's the
volume,
argument?
volume decision,
Volume,
and I still
volume,
think he
yeah.
gets robbed.
Because Hoofy got KO'd one time, right? I guess you could say, but it's like I don't think he's gonna get KO'd. But I don't think he could. Could he win a decision? Like,
But I also don't think that Rufy is like the like when you think of like minus 1,200, minus 950s, you think of Kayla Harrison and PFL just destroying these bitches.
I mean, you got to take into account like what's going on right now with fighting nerds. I mean, you know, people
yeah,
are
but
being
it's
put
just it's a little bit price sensitive, but it makes sense though.
Take a guess. Like, what do you think he opened at as the opening line?
minus 300.
Yeah,
What minus 500.
He is minus 220. So
yeah, but what book was that though?
Bet Online.
Yeah, that explains everything.
But it's like even on Bovada, I mean on both.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like those type of books they have to put out openers and they get scared because the public bets it with a certain amount and they're really just getting information because they don't know shit about fights.
But I mean, I think like if the line was at like minus 300, like you could be like justify saying there's some value.
I think there's value on the line now, bro. You're telling
how?
So
minus 1,000.
So my thing is this though, right? When you look at this weekend slate of events of MMA, 100 college basketball games tomorrow, 100 NCAA football games tomorrow, 20 NFL games on Sunday, bro, you can find five fucking things that are gonna win and get even odds. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I don't think that has value.
I don't think it's the optimal strategy. But yes, Fitz, I do have a 4-leg parlay of who you think it is on this card, and it's minus 200.
Yeah,
all coming up right here.
Yeah, this next fight, Creamy
That's the core parlay right there.
Arroju,
Bo Nickel, John Jones, Hoofy, Oliveira.
Yeah, all the main card picks are fucking chalky, huh? A lot of them.
But I mean, not for you.
Nah, the how I look at it is like I don't want to get scammed. Why I think there's value on the money line is I don't want to get scammed on a prop because like if you told me he won name decision 30-27, would I be shocked? No. But if he knocked him out in rounds 2 or 3, I think that's probably like the most likely thing. But if he ran him over in the first 5 minutes, would I be shocked? No. The only way I wouldn't be shocked is if Lion Top found some way to win this fight, and they don't give a fuck, bro. You could just tell by the way that he missed weight. How do you miss weight for a catch weight fight, bro? What? And you still look smaller.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I get it. I mean, if you throw him in a parlay, I think he's more than likely going to win, but I just don't like doing that personally. Like, I'm not like a big, like, throwing these favorites. Yeah.
I'm not a big parlay boy, but it's one of those things of like you have to ask yourself what type of MMA bettor would you like to be, and if you're gonna want to do this like full time, you're gonna have to take some like chalky parlays across the way. That's just the way the lines. Like this is a Bellator-esque card, like betting wise.
Yeah, they definitely it is. That's actually true. They did like set up some people for sure. But yeah, man, this next fight, let's get into it. Karini Silva versus Vivi Araujo. Really interesting fight to me, man. I feel like this line is like stupid as fuck. It makes no sense at all. Like Karini Silva to me is super overrated. It's like you watch her fight with Lipsky. I just did not think she looked that good in that fight. Like she was taking her down. She was getting into these dominant positions on someone that's not necessarily like a great grappler. Like she had full north south, and then she had her in a full front headlock position where she could have went like multiple like front choke variations, and like she let Lipsky get up like a couple times, and she was just stalling certain periods of time. You could tell she gassed hard, and I just feel like for all the faults of Vivi, like she's not been winning a lot of fights recently. She's been facing the hardest opponents in the division, man. I mean, she went 5 rounds with Alexa Grasso, and a lot of people thought she won that fight. And then she had that fight with Natalia Silva, who's in the top five now, one of the best prospects in the division. I thought she won the first round, and the third round was super close. So it's like, to me, if you're giving me a fight that I think it's going to be like a coin flip fight, I don't see how Silva, unless she goes out there and gets a finish, is going to win like clearly going away. Like she doesn't have great striking. She doesn't throw a lot of volume. She's only throwing 1-2s and like these flimsy kicks that aren't like super dangerous. Whereas I feel like Araujo is going to be pressuring her in her face, and if she doesn't get rocked early and hurt, I feel like she can kind of get Silva tired and kind of just start to take over the fight. And I just don't think Karini's going to have that big advantage in the grappling here that other people are thinking. I feel like Araujo can
Bro, I couldn't agree
grapple with her
anymore.
fine. So it's like, yeah, man, I feel like Araujo can wrestle with her. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards Vivi Araujo all day in this fight. So, but what do you think, Fitz?
Yeah, I just don't know how Vivi's, gonna look at 37 years old here. Yeah, I do think the grappling is very close. It's very evenly matched, but I think just in general, this is a very close fight. So I'll agree that Araujo is the value side. The line's off in my opinion. I'm not putting Karini Silva in any parlays, but I am a fan of her. I do, think she's a good talent. I like the grappling. I think she's got power on the feet. In a striking fight, Araujo is going to do a good job, march forward, but I don't know how much offense she's going to present. I think Karini Silva is going to land the harder punches and honestly do more damage. And I do think ultimately she will get the better of the grappling, but maybe this turns into a striking fight, something we sometimes see between two people who, in my opinion, are both grapplers. So maybe look out for that. I mean, if you want to play anything, I'd just take the over, in my opinion. But yeah, I'll go Karini Silva by decision. Like you guys said, the line's too wide. It's off in this one.
Yeah. What do you think, Billy?
Yeah, I think the story time is just better than a boring old breakdown. So when we did the locker room podcast this week, me and Mills were getting into it at the end of the podcast because like the show is like we have to like all agree on like a parlay, a base parlay, and then we all pick a leg, and that like combines the parlay. And Mills is so high on Kareem Silva, bro. Like he's like betting it straight at -250. It was like it's in our core. And when I taped it, like, does she win? Probably so, but like, bro, I just told like if you told me out of all the favorites on the card, if one fight could get fishy, wouldn't it be the fight that is a chick fight that's lined to go to distance with the chick that's only went the distance like fucking once in her last fight? Like, I don't know, man. Like, if the bookies wanted to be dickheads here, bro, I could definitely see them dumping and taking the Kareen Silva money away and bust up some parlays because, like, I don't think there's a whole lot of wiggle room between the method of victory outcomes for Bo Nickel and Mauricio Ruffy, John Jones, and Charles Oliveira. Like maybe you can make the Michael Chandler case, but like dogs on this card, I, I, I got it. So I think the most likely outcome is Silva by submission or decision at -185. But from like real life betting perspective, man, I, I gotta say Vivi's live here, man. It's like one of those ones. It's like kind of whack where it's like I'm gonna have to tail the parlays for the shows, but the pick here for this one's gonna be Vivi by decision.
Yeah, I think if Vivi, if this goes to decision, I think she's gonna win, man. I mean, she has the longer reach, and you look at Karina Silva too. She's 1-2 in fights that went to round 3. Like he beat Lipsky, and she was fucking gassed in the third. Lipsky won the third round on I think 2 of the 3 scorecards. So I don't know. I just think Vivi's a big step up. I feel like Vivi's a lot better than Ariane Lipsky personally. So we'll see. We'll see. Vivi's like kind of at the end of it, but like I said, I thought she looked good versus Natalia Silva, who I think is a lot better than Karini is. So I just think there's value because I feel like this fight's going to be like a coin flip fight, and you're getting almost 2.5 to 1 odds. So, but yeah, this next fight, Bo Nickel versus Paul Craig, we got a minus 1,500 with Bo Nickel. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Fitz? You think Paul has any chance here?
I mean, he has a chance of a triangle, dude. I think Bo shouldn't even shoot for a takedown, though. I think Paul Craig's striking is atrocious, man. I mean, his head movement, his striking defense is some of the worst I've ever seen. I think if they strike, Bo will knock him out. I think Bo has power in his hands, way more athletic, way more dynamic. Yeah, I mean, if he goes on the ground, though, it's going to be dangerous. Like, Paul Craig is nasty from bottom.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he's definitely like the biggest threat by far that
Best fighter that Bo has fought by far. It's a big step up. So for the line to be like this is, I mean, kind of nuts, dude. I mean, but I mean that's I guess what we're just gonna get with Bo Nickel, no matter who he fights. Like if he wins this fight and say his next fight is against Cannonier, what's that line if he's against Cannonier?
probably like minus 500.
Exactly, which is nuts. Would you say minus 500? I would think it would be like I bet it would be minus 800, bro, which is nuts if you fought Cannonier.
Yeah, I guess it depends too. If he
How
if he
yeah.
like a 30-second KO, then yeah, maybe it'll be like. But I think Bo. It's like he could grapple here too, but he just needs to be smart like with what he's doing. But I think, like you said, he should just probably go out there and try to get the knockout. But I feel like Bo striking is overrated too, though. Like everyone is like acting like he's just gonna go out here and can get the easy KO on Paul Craig, which I think he probably could knock him out. But I think the striking is gonna be super sloppy, man. Like I feel like Paul Craig might land some kicks and shit, and it'll be like really ugly. But eventually, Bo will probably find the chin, and get him out of there. But Bo, one thing about him is he's taken a lot of time off. Like it's been like almost like 10 months, right? So maybe he'll look a little better. But yeah, Billy, you think he's gonna try to go for the knockout or submission here?
Man, I think it's going to be a Bo knockout, but I think the value on this fight is on FanDuel. They got Bo Nickel to win and fight to start round 2 at plus 115. Uh, I think that you take out the method of victory. I think you're kind of really playing around with the time prop for this one because I think Bo should take this into deep waters because, like Fitz was saying, Paul Craig's striking is fucking trash. Like, but Bo Nickel's not a fucking top-notch striker, but Bo Nickel could just kind of like pot shot himself into a knockout here if he really wanted to. But it'll probably be like a ground and pound side control position from Paul Craig pulling guard or some bullshit.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking because like you could see that there's definitely they think there's a chance that he gets a submission because he's only plus 175 by sub.
I that's the reason why I haven't bet the knockout is because you could tell by the market they're respecting the submission and deservedly so because like Paul Craig could just get finished by any method of victory and I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
like what?
he got up by fucking Brandon Allen. Right?
Yeah, but the way that fight went though was like I don't know, man. That was. I don't think Bo Nickel's doing all that. That's why I think it's going to be a
I
like
remember
Brandon Allen's jiu-jitsu. Bo Nickel's more wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like his jiu-jitsu still like in progress.
he got subbed too by fucking. Now I kind of like the sub maybe because I'm thinking about it. Like he got subbed too by fucking Jimmy Crew. Paul Craig did. So it's like
Yeah, but I also think if Bo thinking the way Paul Craig fights, he always does that bullshit. And if Bo's smart, he just throws a bunch of fucking ground and pound elbows, and the ref probably stops the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Bo might want to prove a point though and be like, "Oh, I went out there and submitted, Paul Craig,
Yeah,
someone
but
who's
what happens
known
if he
for
just smashes
submissions."
his fucking face in while Paul Craig
Yeah.
does bullshit? Like like when somebody throws a triangle off their back, and like the first thing that they say is like slam them.
yeah.
Like he slams them. Bo Nickel just starts fucking unloading ground and pound strikes. Ref calls the fight, and the fight's over. Like it's really how I see this one playing out. It probably happens in round 2.
You think he's gonna slam KO him?
No, not slam KO him. No, not slam KO him. I think Paul Craig pulls guard. I think
Oh
Paul
man,
Craig
it's too
pulls.
late.
I think Paul Craig pulls guard. Bo Nickel gets on top of him, probably in like side control position, and he just ground and pounds Paul Craig out of there. Like it's not rocket science. Like Paul Craig pulls guard in every one of his fights that he ever fought in. Like he, I've seen this motherfucker them say go and him just go to the ground and be like, hey, what's up? like Bo Nickel's gonna ground and pound the fuck out of here. Could he submit him? Would I be shocked? No, I would not at all.
Well, I just think there's definitely I think like out of all the props for Bo, that's like the best value because you're getting a fucking plus 175 on someone that's minus 1,500. It's like
I actually think the best value is the time, like is
What's
playing
the
around with the
decision?
time. Like Bo Nickel by decisions plus 800. Bo Nickel to win and fight to start round 2
You don't
plus
think there's more
115.
value
Fight
on
to
the
start
decision?
round 2 is minus 120.
I don't think so because Bo has never fought that long. Like
But I mean, his fight against Cody Brundage got extended, and I mean, Paul Craig's better
It's
than Cody
10 times
Brundage.
better than Cody Brundage. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, it could, but you think if it went
I mean,
15,
like you said, if Bo strikes with him, you said it. I mean, his striking is
yeah, if he
overrated.
him, it could go 15. That could be
Plus
horrible.
800, I'll be betting. I didn't know it was that high.
One of these Ruffy or Bo Nickel results are going to be super boring. It's one of those two fights are going to be a super boring decision, and it might be Bo Nickel.
Yeah. I think Bo though.
I know it's not going to be a super boring decision.
I feel like Bo. He knows the game. I think he's gonna try to get the finish, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that there's definitely value on that too. But I like that. I think that submission is like I could see it happening like 30% of the time, or like I don't know. But yeah, Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Let's get into this co-main event. Fitz, what do you think about this one here?
Yeah, I'll come out a little harsh. I see some people picking Michael Chandler to win. I would say they're not serious. They don't know what they're talking about. Charlie Oliveira is going to outclass Michael Chandler on the feet, on the ground. I know Chandler looked good in the first fight and has that ability to catch him, but 2 years layoff, Chandler, I mean, still in great shape. I'm just all in on Charles Oliveira. I think he's gonna. I'll pick submission. He can knock him out. He can outpoint him, but I think he makes him tap here, and we get another signature Charles Oliveira submission. Been a few years since he got that submission. He wants to add on to that number. Most submissions in UFC history. I can't wait. My first time watching Charles Oliveira fight live. I got that pleasure. Third time watching Michael Chandler. Actually, Chandler's 0-2. With me fighting there. So we'll see if he can finally win. But I don't think so, man. I would say, come on, dude. How is Charles Oliveira not going to win this fight?
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty obvious how he would have won.
I know, I understand. I just don't. You really think Michael Chandler is going to sleep him?
No, I'm picking Charles, but I'm just saying it's like
I get it, the path to victory, yeah, but I really would be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, with Chandler, I feel like Charles has the perfect style to beat him, man. Because you could see, I kind of misread Chandler when he first came in UFC. Like, I was confident Hooker could beat him at range, but now that I kind of watch Chandler more, that's like the worst possible game for that guy. The guy's like a fucking snake, dude. It's like he's throwing these crazy kicks, he's exploding like on his legs, like. So if you're like running away from him and giving him that distance, man, he's just so good at closing that gap and fucking you the fuck out. But Charles is gonna go into that inferno, man. He's gonna go into the fire. He's gonna walk out, and that gives Chandler the chance to fucking clip him. But it takes away a lot of that danger factor from Chandler. He doesn't have that room to explode, man. And I feel like on the inside, he's not that dangerous. So it's like Charles has all the advantages if he pressures and fights how he usually does. And then he could take him down. I mean, we saw in the first round he took him down and took his back, which I think is a great sign for Charles, man. I mean, if you could take him down and take his back early, if you do that when he's a little more tired, you're probably almost certainly going to get the submission. I mean, we saw Dustin Poirier sub Chandler with their rear naked choke. So, I mean, I agree. I think Charles by submission is what's going to happen, but hopefully Charles, this fight gives him that confidence back, man. Because like, dude, that fight versus Sarukian, like, he had those two moments where he almost got the submission, but he was just laying on his back in full guard, like with the legs. He had his legs closed, like, dude.
Yeah, that shit was crazy,
You're
dude.
Charles Oliveira, dude. Like, you should fucking be fucking going crazy on your back, dude. Spazzing, fucking throwing a bunch of submissions and shit. Even versus Islam, it's like, I heard people were like talking like, oh, Islam is like could dominate him on the ground every time they fought, but it's like you could see even when they were fighting, man, when Charles was actually attacking the legs and going for submissions, Islam was getting right back up to his feet. Like he wanted no part of that shit. So Charles just has to be fucking like confident again, man. Shoot these submissions. Don't just lay on your back with your fucking guard closed, like which I don't think Chandler's gonna be taking him down and laying on him like that, but it's like if he's shooting the submissions, he's going to catch him, I think, eventually and get that finish. So that's kind of what I'm going with. I got Charles here. But, yeah, what about you, Billy?
Man, speaking to the choir, man, I couldn't agree with you and Fitz's breakdown anymore. I guess my value is to bring out scripts and greasy narrative theories. Charles Du Bronx Oliveira fighting on National Charles Day today
Bro,
in fucking
where are we getting
MSG.
this stuff? National Charles Day?
Look it up right now.
Come
It's
on,
National
what does that even mean? What does that
nationaltoday.com
mean,
and look
though?
up national holidays for today. And he's got the specialty shorts. This screams Du Bronx by submission plus 150. I'm
National
stuck
Charles
between
Day.
betting the submission prop as like giving it out or betting Charles Oliveira and fight to start round two as like a personal bet and just say fuck everybody. If you don't have FanDuel, fuck you. But nah, I think I just might give out the submission because what do people always say? But rematches never go the same. Yeah, he's not gonna knock him out this time. He's gonna submit him. As much as I love Michael Chandler, like he's definitely the type of guy that gets the go home plate at the barbecue. Chandler's for the culture, but he's gonna lose this one, bro. Like he's what fucking 2 year layoff, lost 3 out of his last 4 fights, didn't even look that good against Tony Ferguson at all. I had to like relive that one because I had betting goggles on the first time I watched that. He did not look good against Tony Ferguson, and I just don't see how he wins this fight outside of a first round or second round knockout. If that's what you like, first round, second round, or third round knockout for Chandler's at plus 500 on FanDuel. I don't blame you if that's the way that you go, but I think Oliveira is going to find a submission. And the only thing that's scaring me is I don't want to bet the Charles Oliveira to win and fight to start round two because he almost submitted him in the fucking first round of the last fight, and he just ended up being too high and falling off the top. So I think Oliveira can get a submission at any time throughout this fight, and I'm glad it's a 5-round fight.
Yeah, that's another good thing. I guess that it's 5 rounds, but I honestly I don't even know if it'll go like more than 2 rounds.
What's the fight on this? What's the odds on this to go to decision?
The fight not to go to distance is sitting at
Minus
minus
1100.
1100, and fight to go to the
Yeah.
distance is plus 590. If you would like to bet the over 1.5 rounds is sitting at even odds at minus 112. That is your props to watch, Fitz.
Over 1.5. I don't know. Like,
It's just like if you bet over 1.5,
You gave me fucking sweating.
why? If you're betting over 1.5, I bet you that you need to bet Bo Nickel and Paul Craig to fight to start round 2, because there's way better value on that fight to start round 2 at minus 120 than this fight to start round 2 at minus 112. Or basically, this fight to start round 2 is lined at minus 182. That's a terrible line compared to the Bo Nickel Paul Craig fight to start round 2 at minus 120.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think it's. I don't have a good read on it. Like, I could see it going
Bro,
right.
somebody's getting smoked, bro.
No, I'm just talking about like the time, like that 7.5 minutes. I could see it going like 9 minutes or some shit. You know what I mean?
I have no idea how it goes, but if Chandler wins, bro, I would imagine it's him smoking Bronx. He's not winning a decision.
Oh yeah, I mean he'd have to like, unless he just comes in here and fucking fights totally different, which we know he's not going to do. You know, so because he could probably go in there and take him down if he really wanted to, but he's not going to do that. You know what I mean? So it's
Nobody's coming to MSG to watch Michael Chandler wrestle Charles DuBronx for a decision. Everybody's watching if Michael Chandler can knock this dude the fuck out, or if DuBronx is gonna, do what DuBronx does: get his ass beat, come back, and get a submission.
Yeah, man. So finally, we got the main event. We got John Jones versus Stipe Miocic finally going down. This was supposed to happen last year. I think it was like on the same day, or like right around the same day in MSG. But the one thing I don't hear anyone talking about at all, which is kind of weird, is the fact that John Jones did tear his labrum, dude. I mean, that's a really bad injury, and he's coming back. After whatever surgery, a year layoff, but Stipe obviously has a lot longer layoff. But you look at it, I mean, both these guys only fought once in like the last 4.5 years, so it's like neither of them have really been active at all. And I just think Jones, he's probably going to be able to win fairly easily, you'd think. I mean, he just has that path to victory with the kicks on the outside. If he doesn't box with Stipe, then he's probably going to be pretty safe. But I mean, Stipe has a chance with that right hand. He has a long reach too, but I feel like he's just going to kick him, and then when Stipe gets close, he's going to try to clinch him and take him down. And I do like, though, like if Stipe turtles and tries to stand up like how he's doing versus DC, he could get fucking guillotined, dude, or he could get caught in a front choke. And you see Jones, like he's going to have Gordon Ryan in his corner, so I mean, I think obviously they've probably been working a lot.
And Gable Stevenson.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's literally like the Avengers.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think he has does he have neither of Wink or Greg are going to be there, huh?
Yeah, they're at Maurice Green. They were busy.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, that's like a sick. Those two alone is like the best fucking wrestler and the best jiu-jitsu guy you could get.
Literally.
But I mean, yeah, I think like Stipe is gonna look better than people are gonna give him credit for. I think he's
the line is giving him credit for.
Yeah, like I think he's gonna come in and be in good shape. He's gonna like try hard. He's gonna be coming forward and pressing forward, but I don't know if he's going to be fast enough to close the distance, man. Like, I think that's going to be the whole fight. And if he does, and he gets taken down, like, is he going to be able to survive on the ground with John? I mean, I feel like he probably could, but I would just tell him, like, fucking just wait until the next round. Like, don't try to get, like, he was getting up really well versus DC, but if he exposes his back or exposes his neck to John, I mean, the threat of a submission is so much like fucking higher than it is with DC, So if he gets taken down, I would just try to like fucking ride the round out. But I feel like Jones is gonna win probably pretty easily. I do like fight starts round 2. I mean, I saw that not fight starts round 2. The over 1.5. I'm sorry, I saw that it was at minus 170 on Bovada, which I don't think that's the worst bet. Like I think Stipe can last 1.5 rounds, but I was kind of earlier like liking the fight goes to distance plus 350, but I'm kind of a little bit. I feel like I don't know. I think Jones is gonna submit him, but even I'm looking at the price. Jones by submission. I mean, plus 200. I don't really think that's a great value, But yeah, I like that over 1.5, and I think Jones is probably gonna get the submission though. But yeah, what about you, Fitz? Who you got here?
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to pick Stipe here. I really do, especially at this line, because I think he can make this a competitive fight, man. Especially, I mean, I just don't know, what state of his career is after such a layoff, at 42, whatever, But I mean, he's a boxer and one of the best boxers we've ever seen in the sport, and John struggles against the boxing. Stipe can definitely, if he can get inside the range of John, John's of course going to have his arms extended, play that hand fight. If he can beat the hand fight and throw combinations at John. I mean, let's not forget we haven't really seen John in a stand-up fight in 4 years, dude. And the last time we did it was him, losing pretty much to Dominic Reyes, and even the fight before that didn't look great against Thiago Santos. Stipe, I don't think is a serial gone. That's just not gonna be how this fight plays out. If you ask me, he's not gonna go out there and get a submission in a minute and a half on a neck crank, guillotine. I would be shocked. John's grappling, I do think is gonna look really good, because of who he's working with. But like you said, he's coming off a major injury. I don't know how much he's gonna be able to throw that injured arm, so he could look limited. But Stipe, he got caught by like a Francis Ngannou head kick. John at range is going to be very deadly. Stipe also likes to use the clinch. I don't think he's going to be able to use the clinch here. I think John's very strong and has a lot of weapons. Stipe, I think, has got to clip him in the boxing, and really, I think needs a knockout here. But I'm on the same thing, same wavelength in terms of my main bet on this fight will be over 1.5. Might ladder it with the over 2.5 too.
Yeah, I think like I kind of like that, but I don't know why earlier, like I was saying, I was thinking Jones by decision, but I kind of feel like it's going to be a sub now. But I do think it's going to take a little bit to get there. But yeah, what about you, Billy? Who you got here?
I mean, obviously, I got John Jones. I would say it's. I don't know, man. Sometimes when I talk about fights this late in the week, I just like to talk about things that like catch my eyes and catch my interest. And I sent this picture to my brother because uh, I try to break it down to him, like like easy, simple shit of like the most bet tickets for this card at BetMGM is number 1 Stipe Miocic by knockout plus 700, John Jones by knockout plus 100, John Jones by submission plus 200, Paul Craig by submission plus 1,000, and John Jones to win in round 2 plus 400. I think it's going to be a John Jones like decision or a later round. Kind of like what Fitz was saying, like this fight could just play out just a little bit slower than like these are two a little bit older guys fighting, like
Coming off layoffs too.
Yeah, there's definitely a feeling out process. Like I think it's a John Jones by decision, bro, for real. But am I betting that? No. I think the best like, can you guys give me some like confidence boost? Because I haven't seen Stipe taken down more than twice in a UFC fight, but god damn, man, John Jones to land 2 takedowns is only minus 140. I feel like that line should be like 3.5.
Yeah, I don't. I just think if Jones takes him down a couple of times, I mean, you'd think he could probably.
I'm. That's the bet on FanDuel though. It's takedown specials, and it's John Jones to land 2 takedowns minus 140.
So if he gets 2, it's just avoided.
No, you win.
Oh, okay.
So like when Taporia fought a couple weeks ago against Holloway, I bet it. They only do it for like the championship fights, but very rarely are wrestlers.
Yeah, like one thing that's like, dude, you look at Stipe, the guy's fought like, who has he fought that has good jiu-jitsu? I mean,
we're doomed.
Yeah, but that didn't even go to the ground at all. But I guess he had that one, didn't he? Like he survived that guillotine against Overeem, where Overeem
I
was
mean, he
clearly.
tapped, but I
Yeah,
felt the tap.
But do you think John Jones can get 2 takedowns here?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. But
Because
especially if he wants to, like, you know what I mean. Like John sometimes can be stubborn, bro. Like, and
I
dude,
don't think he's gonna want to strike at all, bro.
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think so either. But like, John, like at least like back in the day, like where he would do like what his opponent did, like, and he would do it on purpose to like try to like beat them at their own game or whatever, like type shit. So it's like when he fought Vitor, he was like striking with him the whole fight until fucking he broke his arm down and like, or I guess he was on top at that point, but he was striking with him for a long period in that fight. I remember, but yeah, I don't know. I guess for Sorrell, he went out there and just did his thing really quick. But yeah, one thing I will say though, everyone's freaking out about the whole Tom shit, but I feel like this week has made it so obvious that Jones is like clearly
Going to retire.
no, that he's gonna fight Tom if he wins. Because dude, he's clear. Why would he not like? He's clearly trying to like just get more money through the media. Because dude, if he really didn't want to fight Aspinall, why would he just say like when they ask him about it instead of making a big deal about it? I'm
just
not.
be like, I'm retiring because he wants to fight Alex.
No, but
I
I'm
think
saying
he wants to fight Alex. That's an easy fight for him.
like he could literally
It's an
say,
actual easy fight for him, though.
but he could just say, "I'm focused on this fight. I'm not going to talk about it." And if he
That's
said
what he said last night.
no one would ever ask him a fucking question about
Yes, they would,
they
bro.
might,
Yes, they would.
he could have the same answer. But instead, dude, he
Yeah.
said, I'm never gonna fight him. He's a bitch. All this shit. Dude, obviously he's fucking like why would he say that? Dude, he's just gonna
Well,
go
he's
out.
sitting in the same
I'm
exact
ducking
room as him.
everyone in the world. I'm ducking this guy. I don't want to fight him. I'm just gonna let it be known. Like, dude, he's obviously fucking I think he's fucking
Ducking.
and he's kind of trying to angle to be like after the fight, like, all right, what are you guys gonna give me for doing this shit? Which, I mean, he's gonna probably ask for more money, but I think they're definitely gonna do it if he wins. But I feel like it's, dude, if he didn't want to fight Tom, why wouldn't he not even like?
Dana seemed like he was
Bro,
pushing.
he says he doesn't want to fight Tom.
Exactly. I'm saying, why would he say that? If he really didn't want to fight him, like seriously, why would he come out and tell the whole world that? Like, what is the incentive for that? The only incentive would be I want to get more money for fighting him.
Or he just really doesn't want to fight him.
But he doesn't have to admit that. He could just say, I'm not focused on Tom, and then say, I want to fight Alex. And then if they say, like, you want to fight Tom, he'd be like, I'll do what the UFC asks me or some shit. But then.
But he won't.
Yeah, but he could say that. The back be like, nah, I'm not going to do it. But he's literally coming out and saying, yeah, I'm ducking this guy. Like, I think that's cool. He's fucking trying to get some money. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I just, like, that would be.
Dana said, though, he said the winner of this fight should definitely fight Tom Aspinall, and the crowd was going crazy at the ceremonials.
Bro, they went nuts.
Well, I think he'll definitely fight. Like, dude, he's not going to fight Alex next, I don't think. Like, that doesn't
Bro, but
if it was up to him, he would.
Though, bro, that's a easy. Like, as much as I love Alex Pereira, and Alex Pereira is a great champion, that's an easy ass fight for him, bro. He probably submits him within the first 2 rounds if he is dead ass serious.
I don't think like what is so scary about Tom though?
Bro,
Tom actually.
What do you mean? He's knocked everyone out in 1 minute. The entire heavyweight division. What do you mean? What's so scary?
Bro, and he knows jujitsu, bro. He isn't just going to be able to
know jujitsu when Tom knocks him out, bro.
Let's say, dude, but they're the same though. Him and Alex. Like Alex, Alex has just as big of a.
Tom is so
much.
As
much as I love Alex Pereira,
is a middleweight. Tom could never make
middleweight. Alex Pereira's jiu-jitsu is.
Dude,
Tom Aspinall is not. His jiu-jitsu is not winning him the fight against John Jones. Let's make that very clear.
Yeah, but he's going to be able to defend some takedowns. The only person that's defending John Jones' takedown in that division is probably Tom Aspinall.
Who is Tom? Tom has never even had to defend a takedown from fucking anyone.
Because he smashes everyone, dude.
He's not gonna
No
smash
one can
Jon
survive
Jones.
long enough to even drop down to shoot a drop step on him.
All I'm saying,
They're
to me,
just getting
like, if
smashed.
Jones fought,
I don't know why you
if he fought Alex,
disrespect Aspinall, dude. This kid's the
but
truth, man.
he would have the same game plan for both guys and the same threat. Like, what would be the difference? Like, tell me, like,
size,
but don't you think that
the age.
don't you think Alex hits just?
Athleticism.
You don't think Alex hits just as hard as Tom?
Bro,
Yeah, he
but the
does, but I
wrestling,
mean,
bro,
bro.
he can't. He's
Tom is a
Tom,
lot.
he's out here
bigger.
getting taken down by Jan Blachowicz, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. John Jones is running through Alex Pereira.
Well, I think he runs through both of them, but I'm just saying I don't think either guy is like so much scarier than the other.
No, bro. The
John
Tom Aspinall
John
fight
Jones is
that
a lot
fight,
more
bro.
scared of one of them. I'll tell you that much.
I just don't think that's true. I think
Bro,
I mean, you're
what does he
denying it,
have?
bro.
Bro, what
He's
does he
saying
have to
Tom needs
win,
to
bro?
win 17 straight title fights to fight him.
The fuck does John Jones want to fight Tom
What?
Aspinall for, bro? He would probably lose, and B,
Bro, because it's
What?
the fight the fans
How would
want to
he lose
see.
to
We're
Tom,
dying
dude?
to see.
You guys
I
are.
mean, what's more incentive
I hope-
than
I
that?
hope
It's
they
like the
do that
number
fight.
one
I really
most
do.
wanted fight in the
That's
sport.
That's an easier fight than Stipe, dude. That's
stop it. Get the
God,
fuck out.
what are you
You're
You're
talking
just trying to get us
about?
riled up because we're
You guys
A
East Coast.
42-year-old Stipe. You're
guys-
gonna tell me Tom Aspinall is an
guys-
easier fight than a
Bro,
42-year-old
Stipe might not
off a
even be a top
4-year
10
layoff?
actual heavyweight in
No.
the year 2024.
You guys will
Let's
see
be real,
when
bro.
they fight
Let's
each
go
other.
down the list of heavyweights of like who the fuck Stipe's beat.
But
Like,
it's about matchups.
Let's go down the list
It's
of
about
heavyweights Tom Aspinall has knocked out inside a minute, bro.
Dude, Tom, who is like? I don't know.
Blade,
Maybe I'll be so.
Pavlovich,
Dude, Blades.
Volkov. He
Dude,
ran
that's
through
what-
Volkov. He ran through him.
That's his one good win,
He
Volkov.
sliced one good win. Blades
It
isn't a
is.
good win.
come on, bro. Stop it.
You-
Oh, Blades. Every time he's in a big fight,
Nah, I'll give you that. You're right.
100%
You're right.
of the
Guru.
time,
You are so
the
right.
guy's gonna fucking choke. The guy's gonna choke.
Nah, you're so right, Guru.
Fact.
You're
I
so
mean, dude,
right.
it is what
That's
it
an
is.
easy fight.
It is
I
what
mean,
it is.
you
And
picked
sure,
him to win though against Aspinall.
I picked them both times. I got one right, bro. I got one. Let's go. I'm 1 for 1, dude, on that shit. No,
Yeah, but I think you
you're
picked
right.
Curtis Blades against Almeida, right?
Yeah, I pick Curtis in a lot of fights. I don't dislike Curtis. I'm just saying, dude, when he gets in big fights, I was expecting him to fucking show up versus Aspinall. The guy fucking didn't. He choked in the fight, man. Why are you fucking striking with the guy and not even shooting a takedown? Like, you think that's what John Jones is gonna do? He's gonna go out there and do a fucking stand up with Tom Aspinall? He's not a retard, dude. These guys he's fighting are dumb retards. Like Sergey Pavlovich. He has one path to victory. He's going to knock you out in a minute or the guy's going to fucking lose. So it's like, that's an easy fight. Marcin Tybura, what threat is Tybura posing to the guy? Like, dude, I don't know. Maybe I think John, if he fought Tom, will revisit it. But, dude, I think he'd take him down with ease. Like, he'd just dominate the fight easily. Like, Tom has to close the distance on him. He doesn't even have the reach advantage on John. So it's just, I don't know. I think it would be a good fight, but I think John would win that one easily, man. So I hope they do it, though. I hope they
Why
do.
wouldn't he take the fight then? Why wouldn't he fight him?
I think
That's
he's
the interim champ.
I think he will. But, dude, why would you not take this fight? Like, if he beats
I mean, I get it. I get taking this. I made the whole fucking video essay on it. I love this fight. But
and he already
you
had
can't say
dude, like,
you
the
can't
fight
say
was-
John wants to fight Aspinall when he does not want to fight him, dude.
I think he's going to fight him next, dude. Or he'll never fight again. I mean, so
That's Dana told him. Now maybe he realized. But if it was up to John, he's fighting Alex any day of the week.
well, he's going to get paid more money to fight Alex, of course, if he had the choice.
Tom is a huge
I
star.
just don't think that he has the option
Dude,
to
Alex-
fight Alex because Alex got to
Alex-
go fight Ankalaev.
in his life. He's never been a main event for a pay-per-view. So it's like, I feel like Alex is a bigger star.
know. They main evented MSG last year.
He main evented? I thought
Yeah, I'm
he
pretty
was
sure.
main
I can't remember which case.
Law and Leon were the main event. and he was
No,
co-main.
of MSG last year against Pavlovich, or was it Pereira in the final fight?
No, it was Alex. Alex was the main event,
Alex and Yuri,
which makes sense because he's the bigger
yeah.
star. I mean, Alex has main evented like 6 pay-per-views, dude. They're not
Alex is
same,
huge.
They're not on the same level as in terms of like
pay-per-view wise, bro. Not even close, bro. Tom
Yeah.
Aspinall ain't selling no fucking pay-per-view.
Well, like
And
you said, he's never main evented a pay-per-view before. Like
so I think Tom Aspinall needs to ask himself, do you want to fight John Jones and take a fucking loss? Because they're not gonna let just Tom Aspinall beat John Jones. I feel like you are kind of right.
well, that's just a good fight for John, man. Like I think it is. Like, and I could be wrong, but I mean, has anyone shot a takedown on fucking Tom in the UFC? Even attempted it? Like, maybe he's like defended 1 or 2 takedowns. Like, but I don't know. I feel like he hasn't. Like, he either fights athletic guy that can only strike or unathletic wrestlers. So it's John would be a way different test, but we're talking about it so much that they definitely should make the fight. I mean, fuck, like it's definitely like some debates there, but I mean, dude, like who's a good wrestler that he's fought? Like I guess
Curtis Blades,
but Curtis didn't shoot a takedown.
well, he didn't get the chance to. He got slept.
Bro,
Spivak,
he had like
Tybura.
He had 3 minutes.
He's fought every wrestler at heavyweight besides Almeida. I mean, bro, who else can
You
he
are
fight?
kind of right.
Tybura, Blades,
but Spivak isn't
Spivak.
Spivak has like judo or whatever the fuck, whatever grappling he has, sambo.
Doesn't matter. None of that shit works on Tom Aspinall. Judo, jiu-jitsu.
None of it works.
Doesn't work.
Tom gets
He just knocks him out. He sleeps him too
I've seen Tom
fast.
get submitted by bums before. I've seen Tom get submitted by guys that got KO'd to the PFL like 5 times. Yeah. I have. Have you been? He got submitted by Stuart Austin or some shit.
No, that is facts, though, bro. That nigga is trash, bro.
Guy, like, didn't he take a DQ loss too? I mean, he gassed and fucking.
John Jones got finished by Matt Hamill, dude.
Oh, let's go! Fitz with
fucking losses. I mean, come on, the guy can't even hear.
Matt Hamill, dude. Matt Hamill got robbed versus fucking Bisping. He's the man, dude.
Hell yeah, he did.
Veronica, yeah, I think she's winning. No, I mean
she's winning, but what are you gonna do with it? Like, make a decision prop parlay? Like, what are you gonna do with the Veronica Hardy line? Like,
she's gonna be on a 4-fight. She's gonna headline UFC Venezuela.
I'd play the money line, dude, because her by decision is only like a few points better. Like she's not like she's minus 125.
I would want to bet that one prop and bet the juice up for her to win by decision or Mora by submission, because Mora could definitely win this fight by sub, bro.
Who? Eduardo Mora?
Yeah, like if she wins this fight, I think her win condition's by submission.
But it's like, I don't know. You're banking a lot on that, man. I mean, she hasn't.
But what I'm saying is the prop on FanDuel is minus 160. I feel like that gives you both win conditions of both ladies.
Oh,
like if you get. Remember we talked about it for the Lerone Murphy fight when I told you on the significant strikes. I said Lerone Murphy by decision and Danny Ige by knockout. Like it kind of covered your ass. Like I feel like that covers your ass of like if she. I think the only way Hardy loses the fight is a fluke submission, which is definitely in the cards a possibility.
Yeah, she could. I think if she gets submitted, it'd be the first round sub, like a rear naked choke or whatever. But yeah, I mean, everyone says he lost to Dominic, but I mean, he got the win. But I don't know. I just feel like, dude, Dominic Reyes. It's just, all these fights are way different than Aspinall. I still think Aspinall is a totally unproven fighter, but you know,
bro, how he has wins over like half the top 10? How is that unproven?
No, I guess
how he's
not
your
worried.
champ, dude.
He's proven like in terms of he's definitely one of the best in the world. He's like got great skills, but he hasn't proven a lot of stuff. Like what's his longest fight that he's won?
No one can survive with
him.
What do you want him to do?
No one can survive like the guy's fucking Thanos, dude. If John survived,
he might as well be.
if
He
he
has
does,
the Infinity Stones of
no,
heavyweights.
Hey, yo, Guru
but
is
you
too
agree with
funny.
that, right? If the fight goes into round 2, round 3, it's unproven if Tom Aspinall could be good in
Yeah.
those rounds. Is that
I
true? Or
I would not be confident against John Jones. Yeah.
so it's like he has some things that are is it true or false that it's unproven if he ends up on his back? How is he going to look on his back versus anybody in the UFC? Is he if he's going to be good or bad? It's like there's a lot of things that I think.
But I mean, you're
But John,
faulting him for this
I'm
when
not
the
faulting.
reality is, yes, you are, because you're. I mean, bro, I've never seen someone so low on Aspinall, and I can't believe it.
I just like defending.
It's crazy
Because
to me, dude, because I love him.
No one defends John when they talk about these fights. Everyone acts like John is like just a fucking cannon fodder
I
bomb.
think most of it is just because of John's reaction, because John's been so fucking opposed to it.
Well,
Like,
remember, dude,
if
I
John was just like,
remember
yeah, I'll fight him, dude, it would be like,
people said the
let's
same
fucking
shit about
go.
Cyril, and people shit on Cyril now. But when he was gonna fight John, he was the favorite. And
I know.
they opened the line, and everyone was saying, "Oh, Cyril's gonna fuck this old guy up. He sucked his last fight versus Reyes. Look at this guy's movement and all this shit." And he fucking beat him so easy, man. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think some people acted like this fight is like nothing, but all the people that are shitting on the fight, dude, when they're walking out, they're gonna be fucking shitting bricks. Like,
I can't wait.
super excited for the fight. So it's like you could shit on it, but and if you look at this fight, like people that look back on it in like 5-10 years, dude, it's gonna be like one of the biggest fights in MMA history. I mean, this is like a huge legacy fight. So
I'm
I'm
not complaining about the fight or the card at all. I see a lot of people bitching about the card,
a
but
lot.
beggars can't be choosers, bro. There's been banger cards last week's UFC 100 was arguably one of the best cards of like the year of like finishes wise of like every fight finish like with damn near of like what fuck more can you ask for like MMA fans are just always greedy, dude.
Well, I get like everyone did shit on the fight just because of the Tom factor, like that's definitely like clouding the fight. It's people are talking about that more than the fucking matchup. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I get it. I mean, I think it's gonna get settled. I mean, if John never fights again, then I guess people could just talk shit about him for that forever. But I feel like he'll end up fighting him, and we'll see. But yeah, if Tom sleeps John Jones in like 30 seconds, man, I might never do another stream, because I'm fucked on this shit. No, but I don't know, man. I mean, I remember I did that. I was fucking nervous, man, for John's last fight because I did that video. I was like, there's no way he could lose to Cyril. It's like easy ass fight. It's so easily. I was like, hell yeah. But right before it happened, it's like you can say all that, like and same shit with Todd. Like I'm saying all this stuff.
Shit, that's how I felt about the Jake Paul fight tonight. I was still a little bit nervous.
Yeah, when they're both in the fucking cage and like walking around, you're like, fuck, dude. Like this isn't like exactly I'm not as confident as I really thought I was. But yeah, man, hopefully that shit happens. Hopefully Jones gives us a few more fights. I mean, the guy's only 37 years old, so he's not that old, but there's a lot of questions too. I mean, man, he's only gone 2 minutes at heavyweight, so it could all unravel here. I mean, maybe he looks like shit after a couple rounds. It's a sloppy fight, but I'm kind of going off the old Jones. But yeah, guys, thanks everyone for watching. Had a lot of people watching on Twitter on this stream, man. We got 177 people total on Twitter, YouTube right now. So appreciate everyone watching. And yeah, Fitz, if you want to tell them about your TikTok and everything like that, where they could find you, predictions, and then Billy, man.
Yeah, Fitzmagic MMA on TikTok, Instagram. Just go out, check out the video I made for the main event this weekend, and yeah, enjoy the fights. Can't wait to be there. UFC 309. It's great, late night stream with the boys. Had a great time. Let's all win some money, and let's just go watch two goats go at it tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. Have you been to a MSG before?
Yeah, this is my third time for the UFC.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that should be sweet. That's one thing I want to do. I want to go to a fight there at MSG. I think
it's awesome.
I've never been like
expensive.
Even boxing would be cool to go, because I know that's like where they had like a shit ton of cool boxing fights too. But yeah, Billy, what about you, brother?
Yeah, you can find me over at Getting Bills over on X. A lot of cool shit coming up. And over at Pub Sports Radios, you can see the flag behind me. We got the live stream. live commentary, live bets, and stuff like that. Fitz just came on a lot of the times. Fitz is always giving out just great insight live, like because commentating fights is commentating fights, but like when Fitz comes on, he's locked in and he's giving out a couple of nuggets. Like I think we hit some good live bets. So I got to give Fitz a lot of credit to that. So make sure you guys pop into the live stream and shit like that, because I think this is going to be a really good live betting card.
Yeah, man, definitely. There's some spots I think for sure for live betting, but yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back soon doing another breakdown like this. Obviously, stay tuned to the channel and peace out later.